Hello, my lovely people. I just want to hop on here real quick and share this message with you all. I was at the laundromat and I was washing some clothes, and I was trying to record it at the laundromat, but for some reason my phone just kept clicking off. It just kept clicking off, and I said, Lord, the enemy don't want me to share this message with your people. And so I say, you know what? I'll do it when I get home. I'll do it when I get home and I'll record from my laptop. So I'm recording this from my laptop because for some reason my phone just kept clicking off. But I was just sitting there and I was washing my clothes. I was washing my clothes and it just came to me like um we make sure that our house is clean. Our house and clean is in order. We make sure that our clothes are clean and washed for the week. We even go to the extent to make sure that our car is clean so we can drive in our car. But how often do we sit that we sit down and we like take a reexamination on our heart? How often do we do a self check on our heart? And when I say our heart, I mean I'm speaking of your spiritual heart. How often do we sit down and we take a reexamination of our spiritual heart and says, Lord, if you find anything that is not of you, Lord, take it out of me. Take it out of me. And I was just sitting at the lunch break and I thought about the scripture of Psalms 51 and 10 when David said, Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, so that I may worship you in spirit. Spirit, Lord. So I will worship you in spirit and in truth. And so, no, he said, renew. I'm sorry, y'all. He said, renew a right spirit within me, oh God. He said, renew a right spirit in me. Creating me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. And so, like throughout the days we going about our daily tasks, we need to do a self-examination on our spiritual heart. On our spiritual heart is because so many times, like we encounter with different people, it might be at work, it might be on the phone, it might be you might be going to an event or something, and sometimes people will try to you know, people will try to dump their negativity on you. And me speaking personally, I remember it might have been a couple of weeks ago, no, a month ago, about a month ago. My pastor led us to go on a 7 day fast. And as he led us to go on a 7 day fast, I was laying in a bed and I was listening to some worship music. And the Lord began to speak it in my spirit. He said, Melissa, you need to protect your heart. You need to protect your peace at all costs. Protect your peace at all costs. And I said, okay, Lord. I said, okay, Lord. Sure enough, I had, and like when I was doing the fast, I had my phone turned off. Like I had my phone on do not disturb. But I still had individual, like they would send me like um negative stuff or say negative stuff. And I said, Lord, now I see why you said protect your peace at all costs. It's because you're gonna have people that they want to dump their negativity on you. They want to entertain you, with their negative garbage. Want to entertain you with gossip and this and that, and you need to keep your heart. You need to keep your heart pure. You need to be in tune with God at all times, so you can hear him clearly. And I just thank God, for giving me that warning. I was laying in the bed and I listened to the worship music and we was getting ready. Like we was getting ready to go on our 7 day fast. And he was like preparing me ahead of time, like, you finna go on this 7 day fast and you need to protect your peace. You're going to have people come try to call you or say things to you. You need to protect your peace. Don't entertain a negativity. And so, as I was just sitting at the laundromat, and it's just dropped in my spirit, like when I was washing the clothes, like I'm like, we make sure that our house is clean, is in order. We make sure that the clothes are clean for the week. We make sure that our car is clean so we can go joyriding or whatever it is. But how often do we take a self examination on our heart to make sure, like, our heart is clean. Our heart is pure. Sometimes during the week you might be at work and people might be saying this, they might say that, and then when you get home, you like, what? Oh my God! I know me. I know me speaking from experience. When I used to come home from work, and I'd be like, where did this come from? Like, where did this come from? Why am I thinking this way? Where did this come from? And then sometimes the Lord, like that place, like that workplace, you surrounded by them people, you surrounded by all that negative stuff. And so sometimes we have to keep our heart pure. We have to be prayed up. We have to be in God's word. So, you know, when we go to work and we're around these people, and when individual come to us with certain things, we could be like, mm-mm, like not today, no, not today, not any day. Like I'm not trying to hear it, you know. And there are so many times I used to have like co-workers and stuff. They would come to me, talk to me, and they would think like I'm a counselor or something. Come telling me their problems. It don't be something relating to the students or anything. It'd be like they personal problems. And I remember one time I told my sister about it, and my sister told me, I'm like, why do they come to me and tell me all this stuff? And my sister said, it's for you to pray. She was like, you pray for him. God wants you to pray for him. She was like, pray for him. So I just want to encourage you, beautiful, lovely people, on today, that as I was sitting at the laundromat, and it just dropped in my spirit as I was washing the clothes, and I was like, wow. I was like, wow, Lord, like this how it should be. When we making sure that everything is clean in the house. You know how we be. We make sure everything is spotless clean in the house. We make sure the clothes, okay, I got the clothes washed up for the week. I got the kids' clothes washed up for the week. Let me make sure my car is clean, this and that. But do we take time out and we just sit to ourselves and meditate and say, okay, Lord, I consume too much. I allow too much to get into my heart. I allow too much to get into, when I'm saying my heart, I'm saying your spiritual heart. I allow too much to get into my spiritual heart. Sometimes when we talking to people and we know that they're talking negative, whatever, cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off. If they not saying anything positive, cut it off. So you know what? I'm gonna be praying for you, girl. Or if it's a man, I'm gonna be praying for you, brother. I'm gonna be praying for you. Tell them I'm gonna pray, but do not entertain their negativity. Because some people, they just looking for somebody that a listening ear, somebody that that's gonna agree with them, gonna agree with their negativity, going to agree with their wrong decision. They're gonna look for somebody. And then when you give them positive advice, sometimes they like, I don't know about that. I hear what you're saying, but that ain't what I was thinking. Right away, I'm like, okay, let me let you go. Let me let you go because I just gave you some positive advice. And you, like, I don't know. I don't think So you just pray for them. You just need to pray for them. And so, I just want to share this with you all. And then also, this was like a while back. I'm gonna put a link to it. Put the video link in here. A while back, when I was doing my externship. I was doing my externship at this hospital, and as I was sitting there and I was petitioning to God about something, and He just spoke it in my spirit, a new heart, like a new heart, a new heart. And so I was like, Lord, this is a homework assignment. So I began to research and study on not just the spiritual heart, but your natural heart. And so the video is titled A New Heart. And I learned so much, like as I was studying that message, God, as I was putting it together, God was like showing me some things in my spiritual heart, and showing me like, okay, this is not good for you, that is not good for you, and then my natural heart, like, okay, you have to eat better. You need to eat better. So much is different food that you eat. It's not good for you. So you need to eat better. And so it really, when I'm putting things together to share with you all, like it's helping me. It's helping me as well and blessing me as well as I'm putting it together. It's because God is downloading in me. The things that I'm putting together is like He's just downloading in me, and I'm like, okay, Lord, all right, I didn't know that. Like He's just showing me different things. And so when I was sitting at the laundromat today, and it just dropped in my spirit, like you washing clothes, you make sure your clothes is clean, you make sure your house is clean, but do you ever sit and think and take a self-examination on your spiritual heart? You know, you need to take time out, a self examination on a daily self examination on your spiritual heart, because I'm gonna say starting from Sunday all the way up to Monday to Friday, and if you encounter with a lot of people at work and this and that, and by the time you get to Friday, you like, whoa, this was a rough week. Like this was a rough week. Like, man, all the stuff that I was, people listening to this, doing this week, like that's a lot. So we need to take a self examination and say, Lord, like David, Lord, creating me a clean heart, creating me a clean heart, Lord. Renew a right spirit in me, renew a right spirit in me. So I just want to share this with you all. Bless you all with this message on today. And I'm gonna I'm gonna put up these laundry clothes, and I'm gonna try to hop back on here and do the live, do Embrace Your Series for a live. If I can't do it live, then I'm just gonna go ahead and do a video. But I need to put these clothes away. I just want to hop on here and share this with you all, because I could not, when I was with my phone, I would not record. And I haven't had that problem before. Like when I'm using my phone and I'm recording, usually it'll record. But I'm at the laundromat, and every time I try to record it, it would not record. It just kept cutting off. And I said, okay, Lord, I'm gonna wait till I get home. I'm gonna use my laptop, because I see the enemy don't want me to share this with your beautiful, lovely people. So that's all I want to say, you all, that we need to do a daily self-examination on our heart. Say, Lord, create in me a clean heart, Lord, a clean heart, so that I may worship you in spirit and in truth. I pray that you all have a blessed day. Until next time, it's your girl Melissa. God bless.